Hello everyone, we're alive. Yeah. I wonder if this I wonder if I can tell someone that. So how to manage conflicts or conflict management. Try to avoid conflicts. Don't I'm not saying completely be averse to them or completely avoid them, but try to avoid conflicts when you can. Um that will do much better than worse. If you have no choice, then confront the person at the hand or large what you're thinking, and yeah, always confront them. Like say what you think, and then speak, right. You're allowed to speak your mind about certain things, and if you're feeling unhappy about something, speak your mind, right. Don't keep it bottled up right inside, right. Don't keep it bottled up. Like, if you must get angry, like do so in a very don't be like wantonly angry, like you're a fucking asshole, blah 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 blah. Like don't do that. Like it's not gonna do you any good to be wantonly angry. Like people are gonna, especially if you're dealing with narcissists, people are gonna say, "Why did you get so angry?" Like we're gonna either gaslight you or invalidate your feelings, but the, they'll ask you, why did you get so angry, and then you will say, I got angry because he was insulting me. Right, right. If someone doesn't like you, like, will they ever like you? No, that's not the case whatsoever. Well, with regards to Alex, he makes all these disrespectful comments about me, right? He makes all these disrespectful comments about me, and then says he doesn't have a problem with me. What is he calling me out on anyways? He hasn't read my content, he hasn't watched my videos, so, like, I don't get why he thinks he's so entitled to call me out on anything in that regard, so he's very misinformed and ignorant, so I don't think he's, like, mentally ill, he's a criminal-minded individual. I've seen his content, looked into his I'm using this loosely, products, like the things he sells, right? Or like I don't know, like I'm using it very loosely because um I just want to clarify that because there are certain things that he calls products that in a very strict manner, right? So like whether it be his AI app or his website stuff or whatever, like will he get the woman the way like by following the methods Alex proposes? Of course not. There are much better dating coaches you can get your advice from. Matt Cross, like I haven't subscribed to his stuff. Like, well, I subscribe to his content, but not like under his program, right? But I'm no under no PUA's program. Just to tell you that. So yeah, you must be. How do I say it? To avoid like conflicts in general, you just have to assess your surroundings and the situations you're involved in, right? Assess them carefully, right? Like, if you disagree with someone, you're allowed to disagree, right? If someone gets loud and violent, don't engage with them. Don't engage with them, right? Especially for no reason, right? If you disrespect someone and they get loud and violent with you, like, yeah, it depends, right? It depends. Like, this is a more complicated situation. You disrespect someone and they get loud and violent with you, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would see why they would get belligerent. Trust me. I it's not justified to be like disrespectful to someone for no reason, right? But if you're disrespectful because they disrespected you in a similar fashion, then it's completely okay. Like it's tit for tat, right? It all depends on the circumstances in which you abide by, right? So conflict to avoid conflicts. Well, there are always going to be conflicts in life. You just stay away from toxic people on the internet. You have a choice. Don't let toxic people manipulate you into allowing them into your life, right? Don't let toxic people like gaslight you into thinking like there's a reason why a lot of people hate them or a lot of people don't want to associate with them because they're toxic, right? They're not good people, right? If you're a good person, associate with good people. This part of the manosphere is really like full of toxic people. I swear, really. Like people are allowed to disagree with me, but the moment they disrespect me is the moment they've lost all touch with reality, or I don't know. They just lose their minds, right? Be a good person. Don't be a bad person. This may be hard for people to follow, but hold on. Be a good person. So, what does being a good person encompass? Being gentle, calm, empathetic, polite, relaxed, you know, being steady of mind, being hardworking, right? Being intelligent enough to do things for other people and yourself, right? Being a good like there's so many different dimensions to being a good person, right? You you cannot control the opinions of others. You cannot control the mouths of others, but you can only control yourself, right? But say things that are truthful, right? Say things that are not necessarily over the top, but truthful. Uh, you don't like say things that can be backed up with with evidence, right? That will alleviate a lot of the tensions regarding the conflicts that you get into, right? One viewer, nice. So if you can avoid like touchy subjects or subjects which are controversial in nature, you are golden, right? You can avoid much conflicts in life, right? But if you have to get into a conflict, do so in a mature manner. Only escalate slowly, right? Escalate slowly until it reaches that point where there's no point of return, right? Um, be kind to others, right? Be considerate of others' opinions, but like when there comes a point where you have to like sort of escalate to a point where it'll get like physically violent, that should be avoided for at all costs, by the way. But like for the most part, you shouldn't like avoid it completely because like some people are just too much, right? And they must be like put checked or put in their place in a certain way that will teach them a lesson on not to disrespect others, right? Yeah, I mean, what does Alex have to call me out on? Like, um, so he disagrees with a lot of things I say, right? He thinks I'm delusional, I'm this or that. How do I address his queries or concerns? Um, Not by yelling at him, of course. What I did was like was 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 not. I would say was not okay, but it was it was the only kind of response I could have done at the moment it, because everything because I kept holding off until the last moment, right? Until everything kept building up until it eventually would blow up in everyone's face, right? So, yeah, it was very necessary. It wasn't a good move, but it was very necessary, right? Um, it wasn't because at the in the context of what was happening, right? Um, but it wasn't. It wouldn't be considered acceptable behavior by any means if it were in another context where people are just having a good time and then I just go off at someone. No, like there has to be a reason why you go off at someone, right? Like in a volatile manner, like I did with Alex. I don't like Alex. He's a scumbag, but you know what? Everyone has a right to live in this world. A lot of people hate him, like so. A lot of people hate this guy, that guy. I don't know. Like a lot of people hate him for a good reason, right? He has a lot of haters, right? But he has a lot of people who like him too, but he has a lot of haters for the most part. Don't be of disservice to people. Don't be a disservice to people. Always always people oriented, right? Not always. You have to be weary of bad people, right? And I'm still learning how to deal with bad people, admittedly, because deal with bad people in such a way that, like, if you know how to manage conflicts, you will know how to um you will know how to navigate yourself through life with effort effortlessly and with ease, right? Andrew Tate's way of like navigating through conflicts is very interesting, right? Very interesting to say, very peculiar and interesting. Like he always like tries to like calm things down, right? So, oh, okay, you can do this, you can do that. Okay, like just like if it's like a parking dispute, like like who will park here, who will park there. So, oh, you can park. But if it comes down to a verbal disagreement and like people are yelling, he will resort to violence, right? So that's the same thing. I don't resort to verbal disagreement. I try to like calm things down, but if things have to escalate, I don't care about losing my own life or or killing someone, right? We'll have to be careful what I say. Like I have to protect my honor. I have to protect the honor of those who I care about, and even if that comes at the expense of my own life, I have to resort to a certain amount of violence to protect others and myself, right? Depending on the context and situation. Um, but you never do it wantonly, right? Never go to wars wantonly. You never disrespect people wantonly because that's bullying, right? Bullying is not acceptable. Standing up for yourself is acceptable, right? Like, what does Alex have to call me out on? Like, he lies all the time. He larps all the time. He lit that blah 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 all the time. And I don't know what he has to call me out on, but he can criticize me all he wants. That's okay. That's okay. He's allowed to criticize. Everyone's allowed to criticize me. I'm allowed to criticize others, but I don't get why. Like, if I truthfully criticize others, I'm not allowed to do it because I'm supposedly a good person, right? So I'm allowed to criticize others. I know Alex doesn't like me for some apparent reason, or jealousy, or just pure hatred in his heart, which is which he can't express, but it's there, right? I don't know why he hates me, like, but it's there. She's yeah. Anyways, this is about his character. What the things he said. It's while it's bad and it does have an emotional and emotionally damaging effect on me, what she says is a reflection of his character, right? Not a reflection of my character, if that makes sense, right? Tidal is also another major gaslighter. He eventually realized his mistake and said, "Oh, I was just trolling." Like he's another guy who never takes accountability for his actions. He has to hide behind like, "Oh, I'm just trolling." But he eventually got the karma he deserved, the lawsuits from Greg, because, well, Greg also like plays victim a lot. Just like he attacks people, then plays victim, and then says, "Oh, I didn't do anything." Blah blah blah. Blah whatever, man. Um, Greg, Taiju, Alex, they need to stop playing victim when they attack people. Right? They need to take accountability and learn from their mistakes. Right? I always take accountability if I'm being a jerk to someone for no reason. If I'm being a jerk to someone, I apologize. Uh, it's human to like make mistakes, and it's human. It's completely human to make mistakes, right? Hold on. Oh my god. It's completely human to make mistakes, right? Yes, it's human. Don't worry about making mistakes, but do not make the same mistakes over and over and over again, right? Until it's beaten to death, right? So live life in accordance with nature, right? Live life. If you, whether it be with women, with men, like with women and men, um, there are different ways to deal with conflict, right? With women, you have to have boundaries for sure. With men, they're different. People are different. Okay, like people are different individually, right? But within the genders, like there are certain ways to deal with conflict for sure. Yes, for sure, for sure. Don't be a bad person. Don't be bad to people, right? If you're bad to people, people will not be good to you. Uh, People will not be good to you if you're bad with others for no reason, right? You will not like if someone's being delusional, like maybe it's their with regards to me, like maybe it's their you can sort of forgive them for it, right? Because while they are lying, it's not any fault of their own, right? They may lying is to protect your social image, right? So like if you lie about something, you're protecting something about you, your social image. So if you say you have millions of dollars, it depends why you lie. Like if you're lying for financial reasons, right? that you have millions of dollars in your bank or whatever, or less, more or less, just to evade taxes. That's a bad thing to do, right? It depends. Like, I don't know. Like, lying, not necessarily encouraged, but it's like a social reputation. It's sort of like keeps your social reputation like s- sort of protected, right? From the public, right? Like, people will be judgmental if you're not a virgin, if you're a virgin in this community, for sure, for sure. They'll call you an incel. They'll call you this. They'll call you that. Like, if you're an incel, don't be one. Like, come on, like, just say you're a virgin. Oh, I get like people don't be one because I'll tell you why. Like, it's not like find happiness in other things, right? You may not be good looking, you may not be handsome, but find happiness in other things, right? Don't dwell on things you cannot control, right? The black pill, like if you have the looks, you'll have the woman automatically. Like, it's 60% looks. So if you have the looks, you'll have the woman, right? Looks is tied and correlated to health, right? So if you have the health, you'll have the looks. But if you don't have the health, even if you naturally have the looks, if you don't have health, you have nothing, right? So that's another problem. Like, if you have good health, you will have the good looks, right? Hold People say I'm delusional. Well, I do have schizophrenia. But the reason why I go off at people is because they disrespect me because I've said disorder, right? Mm, mm, mm. They disrespect me because of said disorder. So, um, mm, mm, mhm, 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 mhm. The only person who has a right to discuss this with me is probably my doctors. That's it. Like anyone else, like I will go off at, right? I will discuss it with them, right? Like go through it with them, right? If anyone wants to confront, like say I'm delusional, right? Mm, or medically unwell, they have no right to. Only my doctor has. Mm, 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 The way people disrespect people, if you disrespect a person with a disability, mental or physical, like there's going to be karmic consequences. Maybe the law won't catch up to you, but the universe will catch up to you, right? In a certain in a way that will be unforgiving and relentless, right? Mhm. Disabilities don't justify doing bad things. It doesn't. But if you're bullying someone with a disability, be prepared for like karmic consequences to your actions, right? Mhm. Mhm. With regards to like guys like Alex, I try to avoid conflict. Mhm. 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 Mm. Be good to people. Don't be an asshole to people unnecessarily, right? Mhm. Don't be a jerk, right? Mm, mm, mm. People should know by now. That was literally, I will hurt you, like, if you disrespect me in a way that, like, I do hurt people who disrespect me, right? For no reason, right? I'm just being good to them by being nice to them, but they disrespect me, when I mangle their bodies into spaghettis, and I wonder why. Well, they're dead, so they can't really do anything. So, they wonder why. Other people wonder why I did that because they disrespected me, right? Disrespect causes a lot of violence. Don't disrespect people. Like, if I do that for no reason, then I'm a criminal. But if someone disrespects me for no reason, right, in a very obnoxious, vehement way, so, and I put them in their place with violence, it's just the natural order and cycle of life, right? I mean, if Alex disrespected me this way, there would be like there would be no like second like thoughts about it, about the violence, right? I wouldn't be threatening him. Immediately, I would be boom, boom, boom. Fuck yeah! I'd be up on his ass, and I would mangle him until he's spaghetti. That's what I'd do to him. He's like, "Is it about the death threats? It is about the death threats, motherfucker. It is, but it isn't just about the death threats. It's about the violence too. The violence always comes into play, right? I always try to de-escalate, right, at the beginning, right? Okay, like we disagree, or we're sort of like um in not in alignment with ideas or views or um how we think, or we we have a disagreement or dispute, right? Well, I understand that, but if it reaches a point where it becomes intolerable and unacceptable to deal with, right? I just go straight for the violence, right? Because violence is always the solution to problem. Like, it's completely feminine to just say blah 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 blah, just to keep talking. Like it's feminine. Like, I'm just gonna say that. Try to avoid conflicts, but like if someone's being a bitch, like you just go straight for the pound and bam bam. Go straight for the violence, right? If it was in real life, I would have mangled Alex, like, easily, like, he thinks I'm 5'8", 300, well, fuck Alex, yeah. Like, 280 pounds, like, you could go, like, jump off a bridge and blow his brains out, yeah. If you think for all I care, because I'm sorry, but I don't care if I get, like, deleted from YouTube, and I have to go to Rumble. That, yeah. Be a good person, right? To avoid these conflicts, to avoid the violence, to avoid the even the disputes. Just there'll always be disputes, okay? There'll always be conflicts, but like you just have to talk through it, talk it out with people, right? Like in a calm and respectful manner. If you're being belligerent, people will be belligerent with you. Trust and they have a right to, like, especially if you have no good reason to be belligerent to them, right? Like, if people have no reason to be belligerent with you, they're an asshole, right? If you have no reason to be belligerent with them, that makes you an asshole. but but if you do have reason, or if they have reason, they're completely justified in standing up for themselves, or you're justified in standing up for yourself, right? You have to understand that. Otherwise, I just go straight for the violence. If it's completely feminine to just like, oh, we disagree. Let's talk about it. Like, fuck off with this bullshit. Like, I'm willing to talk about it, but like, if it comes to a point where people take it too far, like, I'm not, I'm willing to resort to violence. Right? Be a good person. Don't be disrespectful to people. Don't take things too far with people that you may regret your actions later. Right. Be a good person, right? I try to be a good person, but like people really test my patience from time to time. And I don't take. Right. I try to avoid conflict, but if I need to be involved in conflict, I will go headstrong into it. I'll go strongly into it, right? Right. Well, Alex, like, did have a right to say, like, things against me, but to my parents who were just wondering what was going on, I don't think so. That was completely unjustified. He was just wondering what was going on. Like, you didn't have to disrespect my parents, right? Like, he's never done anything for me, good for me or anyone. Like no, well, especially me. He's never done anything good for me from the beginning, so I don't think he has any right to say like he from the beginning he's never done anything good or helpful to me. So I don't think he has any entitlement to say he's done anything good to me ever. So it's okay. Like some people hate me, some people like me, some people dislike me. But if Alex was more like transparent and about his dislike for me, like there wouldn't be an issue, right? He's just he's projecting about himself, right? When he says I'm beta, I'm weak, I'm unintelligent, I'm retarded, I'm this and that, I won't be a doctor. Like he's projecting about himself because he's projecting, right? Like we gotta understand with conflicts, right? People project because they lack certain qualities within themselves that they see in others, so they have to bring them down, right? Bring them down with them because they're losers. Don't don't associate with losers who want to bring you down, right? They're not going to help you in the long run. So yeah, like I get really excited when I talk, so animated. So be don't. I'm not saying you should tolerate disrespect. Sometimes you have to tolerate it. Sometimes you have to fight against it. But whatever you do, make sure it's because someone disrespected you, not because someone eh, like like bullied or like disrespect. Like, don't just like do that. Like don't. If people are doing don't go after innocent people for sure. Innocent people like going after innocent people. I kind of feel bad for them. Like because they did not only do they do nothing wrong, but they're being attacked on the premise that they did something wrong, right? That's why injustices happen, like fake, false allegations and um against people, right? Like oh you or gaslighting against people, right? Like oh you did something wrong, but they probably didn't, right? Injustices happen because of that. So you have to be very clear like what happened, right? I don't think Alex has any right to call me out because he's a delusional and lies about a lot of things too. Like he lies about no, he lies for sure. Yeah, he admitted to saying that lying is good. So in the debates with based Oracle, so he lies, and he's okay with lying, right? And I don't support lying, but some forms of lying are justified, right? To protect your own image, right, from harm or danger, right? I don't know how they found out I was a virgin, but like maybe they have that an interesting theory of mind, you know. Like I do have a theory of mind, but like it's not entirely negative, but like Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like the fact that you should like dissociate from women because they're being toxic. They can be toxic, yes. Well, they are toxic, but like the reason why the blue pill is like they're kind, they're nice, they're beautiful, they're blah blah blah, all this bullshit. The red pill is promotes that they're toxic, yes, but you just have to maneuver past that, right? You can't just say they're kind human beings because they're not. They're never gonna be that way, right? So, but you can maneuver past their bad nature, right? With good, with there are good women out there for sure, but like most women, that those are unicorns, right? You just have to take the pleasure of the pain. I, for one, have never been in a relationship because I've been too like fearful of like missing out, like losing a part of myself in relationships, right? I feel I can be too possessive and jealous, right? So I have to like work on myself first before I can get into relationships, right? Before I can attract the right one. No, there's no such thing as the right one, by the way. I'm starting to realize that you just have to jump into relationships, right? And see if they work, right? If they don't work, you can always go to with our partner, right? Right. Work on yourself. Get yourself fit, right? Get yourself fit, be healthy, and you'll find a attractive woman to date, right? In Canada, it's easier to get attractive women, even for ethnics, right? Ethnics, right? Maybe it's just me, like maybe it's just my how does it my fear of vulnerability, right? That divests me from like personally seeking relationships, right? Like I don't wanna because the fear of like getting hurt, like you're bound to get hurt in life, right? You're bound to get hurt, like several, like it's bound to happen. So yeah, you're bound to get hurt in life, right? Whether it be from relationships, your career, your education, or anything. things you're involved in your free time, anything. So might as well take the pleasure with the pain and work towards your well-being. Work towards, right? What was I saying? Like you can't just live without pain. There has to be something in life for you to grow. Pain is growth. Suffering is growth. Without suffering, there is no growth. Right? Take the pleasure with the pain. If there's no pleasure, you might have to reconsider the things you do, right? Happiness is not the be all end all, right? If you're not happy throughout your life, but you still live, it's better than being dead, right? Sometimes happiness is not the be all end all, right? It's living a meaningful life, right? What was I saying? Yeah. Avoiding conflicts will make you happier. But if you have to indulge in conflicts, do so in a mature manner, right? Don't immediately go into violence. Don't immediately, like, if the violence has to be, like, applied, hey man, it is what it is. But don't immediately get into violent situations because it's not going to help you, especially when the other party is innocent and has no bad things to bog him down legally, or I don't know, what is it, criminally, or I don't know. But anyways, it's almost time to wrap up. 3 minutes left, so be a good person. Don't get into too many conflicts. If you have to get into conflicts, be very calculated and meticulous about it, right? Escalate, right? Like escalate slowly until it reaches a point where it becomes unbearable, right? Yeah. Like you should definitely, like, like, people have the right to criticize me. I don't care, but like disrespect, I'm never gonna tolerate that. Slander, I'm never gonna tolerate. Um like, he said that to disrespect me, right? He didn't say that to, like, oh, you have delusions. He's no psychiatrist, he's no therapist. Yes, I've been diagnosed, but why point it out? Why point it out when I have schizophrenia, and when he knows, right? It doesn't make any sense, right? Like, it does make sense because he wants to get under my skin about it, right? So, and he definitely did get under my skin, and he definitely got what he deserved. So, like, he's lucky it was just on a panel, because if it was in real life, there would be no second thoughts about what I said to him, right? It would just be violence. Like he because he won't be like, of course I won't like have him like legally in jail or blah blah blah, like, because he can't do anything about it. He knows he's in the wrong, right? He disrespects me all the time, and like, one day when it becomes too much, right? Where he disrespects me, and he gets his ass whooped, or disrespects someone with disabilities, or anyone like who's suffering in life for whatever reason, and he gets his ass whooped, and he's like, oh, what are you doing this for? Like, because you're a fucking asshole. That's why. You only get what you deserve in life. You only get what you give, right? So be of good service to others, and people will be good service to you. So yeah, one viewer. That's how you avoid conflict for the most part. Be good to get good, right? Get good things your way. So two viewers. Anyways, any last thoughts, viewers? I wonder who the two viewers are. Anyways, um, otherwise, I don't want to get into conflict with anyone. Not even with Alex, right? But like, I had to stand up for myself. I had to put my foot down eventually, so I could defend my honor and my dignity and my integrity, right? Right. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Peace. Sure.